Written by a nice reporter. Now the poor guy, you got to see this guy. Oh, I don't know what I said.
Embarrassing yourself in public is rough. But when it happens to presidents, that's legendary. These cameras caught the world's most powerful people slipping and turned them into viral moments that the internet will never forget.
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Back in 1975, President Gerald Ford gave us a classic presidential blooper. As he stepped off Air Force One, he lost his footing and tumbled down the stairs. No harm done, but the clip quickly became one of the most famous stumbles in political history. In a now viral moment, Biden turned to the side and reached out to nobody. It looked like he was offering a handshake to an invisible guest. The move caught everyone off guard and quickly sparked jokes about ghost handshakes and imaginary friends.
Shape or form of President Clinton was an utterly false statement. Is that correct?
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is. Yes.
During the Lewinsky scandal, Clinton was asked a simple question, but his answer wasn't so simple. Instead, he gave the world an awkward lesson in grammar, saying, "It depends on what the meaning of the word is." That one line, instant classic.
If I could follow up, you say diplomacy takes time.
Yes, it does.
But it was 4 years ago that you labeled North Korea a member of the Axis of Evil, and since then it's increased its nuclear arsenal.
Suzanne, it's nuclear arsenal.
Nuclear arsenal.
George W. Bush had a signature mispronunciation that stuck. Nuclear instead of nuclear. Every time he said it, eyebrows went up and late night hosts leaned in. Slip up or just his way? Either way, it became presidential pop culture. Bush Sr. once looked at a grocery scanner like it was alien tech. Cameras caught his surprise, and people ran with it, making it a whole thing. Honestly, we've all had that "how does this work" moment at self-checkout.
Shake your hand. I'm gonna shake your hand.
Trump met Macron with what should have been a simple handshake. Instead, it turned into a 17-second grip battle. Tense eye contact, white knuckles, and zero blinking. Macron later called it a moment of truth. We call it intense.
I want to shake his hand. Shake your hand.
And I want to thank all of you here for including bipartisan elected officials like Representative Governor, Senator Braun, Senator Booker, Representative Jackie. Are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
During a live event, Biden asked, "Where's Jackie?" referring to Representative Jackie Walorski, who had sadly passed away a month earlier. The room froze. It was one of those moments that hung in the air just a little too long.
Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie? I didn't think she was going to be here.
How has the national debt personally affected each of your lives? And if it hasn't, how can you honestly find a cure for the economic problems of the common people if you have no experience in what's ailing them?
Well, I think the national debt affects everybody. Obviously, it has a lot to do with interest rates. It has.
She's saying you personally.
On a personal basis, how has it affected you?
Has it affected you personally?
Bush Sr. gave the ultimate wrap-it-up move, checking his watch mid-debate. Then came a stuttered answer that didn't help. It looked like he was done for the night before the questions even started.
I think that that's an important part of being a parent. Maybe I won't get it wrong. Are you suggesting that if somebody has means, that the national debt doesn't affect them?
What I'm saying
I'm not sure I get it. Help me with the question and I'll try to answer it.
I've had friends that have been laid off from jobs.
Yeah.
I know people who cannot afford to pay the mortgage on their homes, their car payment. I have personal problems with the national debt, but how has it affected you? And if you have no experience in it, how can you help us if you don't know what we're feeling?
I think she means more the recession, the economic problems today the country faces.
I wrote this out, and it's very close to my heart because I was down there, and I watch our police and our firemen down on 7-Eleven, down at the World Trade Center right after it came down.
During a rally, Trump meant to honor 9/11, but instead said 7/11. Yep, the convenience store.
Firemen down on 7-Eleven, down at the World Trade Center right after it came down.
It was one of those moments where everyone froze, wondering if they heard that right. A tribute that accidentally turned into a Slurpee reference.
Donald Trump facing new criticism for something he did on the campaign trail last night in South Carolina while defending his debunked claim that he saw thousands of Muslims celebrate the collapse of the Twin Towers here in New York. He appeared to mock a reporter with a disability. Take a look.
Trump once mocked a reporter's disability during a speech, using exaggerated gestures that left everyone deeply uncomfortable. The moment instantly blew up online and became one of those "did that really happen" kind of clips. A real low point in public decency.
Listen, you got to come see us when you come to New York, VP Biden.
I will.
It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Biden casually dropped the line, "You ain't black," during a radio interview, and it landed hard.
Trump, and you ain't black.
The comment sparked major backlash, turning what was supposed to be a casual chat into a full-blown internet firestorm. Definitely one of his most awkward moments.
Trump, and you ain't black.
Let me whisper a secret. Don't tell mommy what I told you.
Biden was caught on camera leaning in and sniffing a child's hair, and yep, it raised some eyebrows. It wasn't a first either. The internet ran with it, turning a simple moment into meme fuel, one of those things that just sticks in people's minds.
No serious guys in your 30s.
Okay. No, why?
At a Dallas memorial, George W. Bush swayed back and forth, smiling and holding hands like he was vibing at a concert. The mood? Not exactly fitting. Michelle Obama's side eye said it all. He was clearly in his own world for a second. During a public meeting, Erdogan grabbed Macron's finger during a handshake and wouldn't let go. Macron awkwardly tried to pull away, but Erdogan had the grip of someone protecting the last baklava. Diplomatic handshakes just got weird. Putin was mid-sentence when Angela Merkel dropped one of the most iconic eye rolls in political history. It wasn't loud, but it was loud. That quick glance said exactly what she was thinking, and everyone watching knew it. Instant meme material. Theresa May broke into a dance while visiting a school in Nairobi, and it was just as awkwardly endearing as her last viral shuffle. With scouts cheering her on, she gave it her all. Diplomatic talks? More like dance floor diplomacy.
Не заглушить вам голос народа, голос правды, который звучит и будет звучать. Конец, могила колониальному рабству. Долой его и похоронить его, чем глубже, тем лучше.
Back in 1960, Soviet leader Khrushchev banged his shoe on the UN desk mid-meeting. No one knew what to do. It was loud, bizarre, and somehow iconic. That moment made history not because of words, but because of one angry shoe.
I went, as we all must, to Peppa Pig World.
Boris Johnson praised Peppa Pig World in the middle of a business speech, lost his notes, and started talking about Moses. Everyone sat there stunned.
To Peppa Pig World. I don't know if you've been to Peppa Pig World. Who's been to? Hands up anyone who's been to Peppa Pig World.
It was one of those moments where even his staff didn't know whether to laugh or jump in.
I got it. Like O.J. Simpson.
During a visit to Japan, Trump and Prime Minister Abe fed koi fish until Trump dumped the whole box of food into the pond. Abe had done it too, but Trump's bold scoop stole the spotlight. The fish kinda looked confused, and I don't know how that's even possible.
I like to sing anything.
Spanish.
I don't know much Spanish. Allá en el Rancho Grande.
Allá en el Rancho Grande.
Allá
donde viví.
yo, te alegre me decía.
Había una rancherita que alegre me decía. Que alegre me decía.
Ay, 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 ay.
When Hugo Chavez sat down with Larry King, no one expected a musical moment. But during the interview, he broke into song.
Allá en el Rancho Grande.
Allá en el Rancho Grande.
Allá donde viví yo.
Belting out Allá en el Rancho Grande like it was open mic night. Politics paused, vocals engaged. Legendary curveball.
Allá en el Rancho Grande. Allá donde viví yo.
Potato, how's it? You write phonetically. What else? There you go.
Vice President Dan Quayle was just helping a student spell potato when he added an extra E. Just one letter, but it stuck forever. It turned into a punchline that never really left his side, and still pops up in spelling jokes today.
There you go.
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House!
Howard Dean was wrapping up a rally, fired up and full of energy. Then out came, "Yeah," heard round the internet.
White House!
That primal scream took on a life of its own. The rally turned into a rock concert. Then the campaign kind of stalled.
For some people, the ultimate goal in life has been becoming the President of the United States. Would you like to be the President of the United States?
I really don't believe I would run it, but I would like to see somebody as the President who could do the job, and there are very capable people in this country.
Trump told an interviewer that politics was just too mean for him. He said he'd never run.
Why wouldn't you dedicate yourself to public service?
Because I think it's a very mean life. I would love and I would dedicate my life to this country, but I see it as being a mean life, and I also see it as somebody with strong views and somebody with the kind of views that are maybe a little bit unpopular, which may be right, but may be unpopular.
Fast forward a few decades, and not only did he run, he became the headline. Life comes at you fast.
The office of President of the United States.
During a visit to Buckingham Palace, Michelle Obama gave the Queen a friendly hug. Sweet gesture, but technically a royal no. Still, the Queen barely blinked, a small moment of warmth that tossed royal protocol out the window for a second.
This is the people's house. This is the people's gavel. In the people's name, it is my privilege to hand it to the Speaker of the House for the 114th Congress, the Honorable John Boehner. Mr. Speaker. God bless you, Mr. Speaker. God bless America.
In one of Congress's more unexpected moments, John Boehner leaned in and gave Nancy Pelosi a surprise kiss on the cheek. The House floor turned into a very awkward stage, just pure Capitol weirdness in motion.
That's what the compact says, loudly and clearly. And now I want to hand it over to the President of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. You can beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin.
Biden stepped up to introduce Zelensky and instead said President Putin at a NATO summit.
Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. You can beat President Putin.
He corrected it quickly, but for a few frozen seconds, the whole room blinked in disbelief. That's one way to spike everyone's heart rate.
On all South Africans to wear a face mask whenever you leave home. Clothing and textile industry, including small businesses, are gearing up to produce these masks on a mass scale.
South Africa's president fumbled with his mask mid-briefing. It slipped, got tangled, and caused a mini scene. Even world leaders struggle with the strap sometimes. When Trump leaned in for a classic handshake, Trudeau met him with something unexpected, a firm grip and a calm stare. It turned into a subtle showdown, and you could almost hear the crowd holding their breath. No words, just tension, and the internet absolutely noticed.
It's a great honor that you're here, but we do have a very special relationship. In fact, I'll get that little piece of dandruff off. That little piece. We have to make him perfect. He is perfect.
With cameras rolling, Trump casually brushed dandruff off Macron's shoulder mid-chat, like they were at prom. Macron paused, probably wondering if he'd just been groomed on international TV. The moment, iconic and instantly cringy.
Piece of dandruff off. That little piece. We have to make him perfect. He is perfect.
Obama hit the bowling alley on the campaign trail and rolled a score of 37. Yes, 37. Even toddlers with bumpers could beat that. The internet lit up, and America discovered its coolest president might not be its most athletic.
The outlaw regime that has ties to terrorist groups and seeks or possesses weapons of mass destruction is a grave danger to the civilized world and will be confronted.
Bush landed on an aircraft carrier and declared mission accomplished with a giant banner waving behind him. One problem, the war wasn't even close to done.
But it is worth every effort. Our coalition will stay until our work is done.
That photo op aged fast, becoming the ultimate lesson in political timing. Putin's shirtless horseback ride was supposed to be all about strength and toughness, but the internet saw something else entirely. His bare-chested wilderness adventure turned into one of the most meme-worthy look-at-me moments in modern politics. At President Carter's funeral, one guard lost balance and tumbled right in front of the motorcade. Another soldier swooped in and dragged him off to safety. President Xi nearly tripped off the stage in front of world leaders. Yep, including Putin. Luckily, his team was fast, catching him just in time. Xi spun around as he stumbled, but played it cool.
Южная Корея. Рост производства – это результат увеличения… Какая разница?
In a serious meeting, someone suggested sending pork to Indonesia. Putin couldn't hold back. His smirk said it all. Sending pork to a Muslim-majority country? Definitely not the diplomatic win they thought it was. A painfully awkward moment captured for the world to see. Trump hit the stairs with confidence, and a whole piece of toilet paper riding his heel. No one said a word. That thing had diplomatic immunity. The beast is built to survive anything except a curb. It got stuck outside the U.S. Embassy, proving that even power rides have weak ankles. After a strong speech, Mugabe took a not-so-strong exit. He missed a step and fell. His team helped up and made sure the cameras forgot it ever happened. During a press conference, someone threw both shoes at President Bush. He dodged them like a pro. No panic, no problem. 0 hits, full style points.
Let me talk about the guy throwing the shoe. It is one way to gain attention.
Trump went for a light touch on the Pope's hand. The Pope gave a swift swat and moved on. The internet couldn't decide, shade or instinct. At Carter's funeral, Biden lowered his head and stayed there. People wondered, prayerful moment or quick nap? Either way, it's peak quiet Biden energy. Biden stopped mid-ride in Delaware to say hi. And tipped over. He popped back up, unbothered. Just your average presidential biking blooper. Right after handing out diplomas at the Air Force Academy, Biden took a sudden tumble. It was one of those blink and you'll miss it moments, but he bounced back up fast, brushed it off, and got right back to business like it never happened. While introducing Prime Minister Modi, Biden looked around and asked, "Who's next?"
Who's next?
A quick pause followed, and someone else took the mic.
Distinguished guests, the Prime Minister of the Republic of India.
The internet had a field day with the moment. Classic mix-up that left everyone a little confused and a little amused. At a public event, Biden walked to the center of the stage and just froze. For a few seconds, he didn't move, just a blank stare. The crowd stayed silent, unsure if he was lost in thought or just forgot the next step. During a NATO tour, Trump made headlines with a bold move. He lightly nudged Montenegro's prime minister aside to step forward. It happened fast, but cameras caught it all. That tiny push sparked global memes within minutes. During the 2017 solar eclipse, Trump looked straight at the sun, without glasses. A staffer shouted, "Don't look!" But he did anyway. Cameras caught it all. It felt like the moment he tried to stare down the cosmos. President Biden versus Air Force One stairs, round 3. He tripped 3 times. But stood tall, saluted, and walked it off like a pro. Classic recovery. While joking about his bowling skills, Obama made a rough comparison to the Special Olympics. It didn't land.
I bowled a 129.
Oh, no, that's very good. Yeah. Oh, that's very good, Mr. President.
This is like Special Olympics or something.
No, that's very good.
Listen, I'm making progress on the bowling.
He quickly apologized, but for that split second, the room went dead silent, and everyone winced just a little.
Prince George showed up to our meeting in his bathrobe. That was a slap in the face.
At the 2016 White House Correspondents' Dinner, Obama wasn't just funny, he was iconic. He ended his speech with a perfect mic drop.
I'm gonna use it at Goldman Sachs next year. Earn me some serious Tubmans. Obama out.
Sealing a night of clever jokes and smooth comebacks. The crowd went wild, and the internet still hasn't let it go.
Obama out.
You really have. You've really put a big investment in our country. We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
At a 2019 meeting, Trump thanked Tim Apple instead of Tim Cook.
We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
The name Mashup blew up online, and Cook even changed his Twitter name to Match. Trump said it was to save time, but the internet wasn't buying it.
Put a big investment in our country. We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple.
In '92, Clinton hit the Arsenio Hall stage with a saxophone and some serious swagger. The crowd went wild, and just like that, he turned a jam session into campaign gold. Trump tried handing out Halloween candy at the White House, but instead of giving it to the kid, he balanced a bar on the child's minion costume. The candy slid right off, and the kid just kept walking. Presidential treats with a twist. Trump walked on stage, spotted the American flag, and hugged it. Not a quick one either. A full-on, hold it like it's your buddy hug. The audience cheered. Online, the reactions were split between patriotic and puzzling.
I'm going to start at I will contrast. Hey, get out of here.
That's the most persistent fly I've ever seen. Nice.
During a live interview, Obama spotted a fly, paused, and bam, snapped it midair like a ninja.
That's the most persistent fly I've ever seen. Nice.
It was weirdly impressive and a little scary. The moment went viral, proving that even presidents sometimes become unexpected pest control pros.
Nice.
The world's dying to know, is it boxers or briefs?
Usually briefs. Can't believe she did that.
Back in the MTV era, Bill Clinton got hit with an unexpected question: boxers or briefs?
The world's dying to know, is it boxers or briefs?
Usually briefs. Can't believe she did that.
He paused, smirked, and said briefs, like he was revealing state secrets. It was the moment politics met Team TV, and everyone cringed together.
Usually briefs. Can't believe she did that.
It's going well. It's very, very well organized. What they do.
Boris Johnson zipped halfway across and stopped midair, stuck and dangling with flags in hand like a confused superhero.
It's going well. It's very, very well organized. What they do. Get me a ladder. It's going well, team.
Mate, you're getting right. You're just reaching out for me.
No.
Cameras rolled, crowds laughed, and London's Olympic excitement took a surprise turn into comedy gold. He hung in there, literally.
It's going well. It's very, very well organized. What they do.
Not to deceive you, Mr. President.
While attending a summit in Brazil, Biden tripped right over the country's giant flag, then forgot to shake hands with President Lula. Cameras caught it all.
Not to deceive you, Mr. President.
The stumble, the skip, and that awkward second of silence said more than any speech could.
Not to deceive you, Mr. President.
At a NATO summit, Trudeau and a few others were caught laughing about Trump when they thought the mics were off. Too late. The jokes flew, and so did the headlines. It was like a high school drama, just in suits and ties.
Allez, venez là, un petit coup.
President Macron went in for a handshake during a local visit and got a surprise kiss on the cheek instead.
Allez, venez là, un petit coup.
Smooth political greeting? Not exactly. It was quick, awkward, and all caught on camera. Gotta love those unexpected hometown moments.
Allez, venez là, un petit coup. Oh non, ils sont cons, quoi.
In the White House, Trump had a red button on his desk, but it wasn't for emergencies. It summoned Diet Coke. Every press brought a fresh soda delivered on a silver tray. Say what you want. He knew how to stay caffeinated in style. Trump's handshake with Japan's prime minister wasn't just a greeting. It turned into a 19-second endurance test.
All right, thank you, Pat.
Thank you, everybody. Strong hands.
Gripping, nodding, smiling, and gripping some more. By the end, both looked like they deserved a medal. Diplomacy meets Arm Day.
Look at me.
What do you have to bring to this that he doesn't necessarily bring to this?
Well, I'll be offering my vision when my campaign begins, and it'll be comprehensive and sweeping, and I hope that it'll be compelling enough to draw people toward it. I feel that it will be.
Al Gore once said he took the initiative in creating the internet. Not that he invented it, but people ran with it anyway. Boom. Instant meme.
I've traveled to every part of this country during the last 6 years. During my service in the United States Congress, I took the initiative in creating the Internet, initiatives that have proven to be important to our country's economic growth, environmental protection, improvements in our educational system.
It's stuck for years, proof that even one word choice can live rent-free in public memory.
During a quarter century of public service, including most of it long before I came into my current job, I have worked to try to improve the quality of life in our country and in our world.
While testing a mic, President Reagan joked, "We begin bombing in 5 minutes." It was meant to be off the record, but someone hit record.
That I've signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
During the Cold War, even a joke like that made folks seriously sweat. The timing was not ideal.
That I've signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
Hasta la victoria siempre.
In 2004, after giving a speech in Santa Clara, Cuba, Fidel Castro took a tumble that had everyone gasping. As he walked down from the stage, he tripped on a step and hit the ground hard, landing on his right side. At 78, that kind of thing isn't light, but Castro popped back up like a champ. It was classic Castro. The moment made headlines, but also reminded the world that even larger-than-life leaders can slip sometimes. Literally.
The media keeps repeating about my having another wife. I want to make it very clear that I have only one dear wife, and I do not have any other.
When rumors flew, Lucy Kibaki wasn't having it. She stood next to President Mwai Kibaki as he made it crystal clear, "I have only one wife."
Anybody who knows me, they know I have only one wife.
From here you go right more eyes. I'll be with you. Now as the president.
The delivery was calm but serious, and straight to the point. Public rumor was officially handled.
The young lady seems like a perfectly nice person. She's getting her award. What's he doing?
Why would he do that?
He's a jacket.
Obama thought the mic was off when he called Kanye a jackass after the Taylor Swift stage fiasco. But nope, Mike was live, and so was the moment.
What's he doing?
Why would he do that?
He's a jacket. All this stuff.
That's what King said.
Come on, guys.
1 second he's the president, the next he's trending for saying exactly what everyone else was thinking.
What? Oh, it's okay. Oh.
Trump once mocked Rubio for nervously sipping water, but then came his own hydration saga. Mid-speech in Asia, he stopped, stared, grabbed the bottle like it might explode, and took the slowest, most awkward sip ever. That's hydration karma in action. Theresa May had just stepped into her new role as Prime Minister when she confidently walked to a waiting car. That wasn't hers. Quick U-turn, slight chuckle, and off to the right one. Honestly, a very relatable first day moment. Angela Merkel was ready for her NATO photo op when Berlusconi, deep in a phone call, completely ignored her. She stood waiting, hands clasped, zero patience, like she'd RSVP'd to a party where no one saved her a seat. Super awkward power move. At the ASEAN summit, Trump went in for the traditional group handshake, but his timing was way off. He twisted, fumbled, and ended up looking like he joined a conga line with no rhythm. That handshake? Not exactly coordinated. Ronald Reagan tripped while climbing the steps to Air Force One. One of those blink and you miss it falls. But instead of panicking, he stood up, smiled, and gave a confident wave. Just like that, he turned a tiny tumble into a smooth, classic Reagan recovery. Trump's hair met its match when a wild gust of wind pulled back the curtain, literally. Cameras caught every flap and flutter as the wind gave America a peek behind the style.
That I welcome this kind of examination because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook.
When Nixon addressed Watergate, his famous "I am not a crook" line was supposed to clear the air.
Because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
But it kinda did the opposite. Instead of ending questions, it gave people something to quote forever.
That I welcome this kind of examination because people have got to know whether or not their president's a crook. Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
You then look for a way out.
President Bush finished a press conference in China, turned to leave, and walked straight into a locked door. Oops. He paused, laughed it off, and headed the other way. A real-life cartoon moment. But he handled it like a pro.
You then look for a way out.
I got them $1.9 trillion relief so far. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential this week for childcare. A lot has been happened already.
In a 2021 press conference, Biden leaned in and started whispering answers like he was revealing state secrets.
I'm going to fight like heck to get them the rest of what I think has to be done.
It was weirdly intense and kind of funny. More ASMR than leadership. Safe to say the internet had a field day with that one.
I got them $1.9 trillion relief so far. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential this week. A lot has been happened already.
Hillary and Tim Kaine stood under a storm of confetti and balloons so massive it looked like a parade hit them. Their smile said, "We're good," but the balloons were clearly having the time of their lives. Politics meets party chaos. Boris Yeltsin turned a campaign stage into his personal dance floor. He twirled, swayed, and wobbled with unfiltered joy. Leaving the crowd amused and confused. It was one part celebration, one part "what am I watching?" but all parts unforgettable.
I believe that diplomacy should be the cornerstone of any foreign policy.
And I can see Russia from my house.
Sarah Palin once claimed she could see Russia from Alaska, and whether she meant it literally or not, that one line took off.
Diplomacy should be the cornerstone of any foreign policy.
And I can see Russia from my house.
The internet turned it into a meme factory, and suddenly, geography jokes were trending in politics. Putin walked up to Erdogan at a big air show and bought him ice cream like they were just two bros at the mall. Then came the kicker. He asked, "Will you pay for me too?" That little joke had everyone laughing, showing that even world leaders have friendship moments. Obama was boarding Marine One when he completely forgot to salute the Marine standing guard. He took a few steps, paused, turned around, and made it right. One of those little presidential slip-ups that reminded everyone he's still just a guy who sometimes forgets stuff. At Trump's inauguration, Eric Trump flashed a hand sign that looked like an upside-down triangle. Was it intentional? Just a nervous habit? Either way, the internet exploded with Illuminati memes and conspiracy theories. During Trump's 2017 inauguration parade, viewers spotted something weird. His bodyguard's arm didn't look right. It looked strange, like it wasn't even real. Suddenly, everyone online was talking about a third hand. In one Vatican livestream, the Pope was standing at a window, quietly praying. Then, poof, he just disappeared. No fade. Out. No walking away. 1 second he was there, the next, gone.
Years ago, I stood before you and said that Israel's security is sacrosanct.
A 2012 clip of Obama speaking went viral, but not for what he said. One of his bodyguards looked strange.
You and said that Israel's security is sacrosanct. It is non-negotiable.
From some angles, his face didn't even look human. The internet went wild with alien jokes and reptilian theories.
You and said that Israel's security is sacrosanct. It is non-negotiable.
In a short viral clip, Baron Trump quietly walked up to Joe Biden. Nothing was said. Just a brief stare, a pause, and silence. That tiny interaction had everyone guessing what happened. A behind-the-scenes video of Bill Clinton surfaced where he looked completely still, like weirdly still. His face was pale, his body unmoving, like he wasn't even real. It was one of those clips that wasn't supposed to be public, and it's still creeping people out today. During Justice Sandra Day O'Connor's memorial, everything was serious and respectful, until one of the honor guards suddenly fainted, live on TV. It was quick, unexpected, and caught everyone off guard. A powerful reminder that even trained professionals have human limits. During a meet and greet in Paris, a teenager casually called President Macron Manu. Not amused, Macron quickly shut it down. Reminding the kid it's Mr. President to him. Turns out, even presidents have their pet peeves. At George H.W. Bush's memorial, several political guests were handed mysterious envelopes. As they opened them, their faces dropped. Joe Biden looked stunned. Jeb Bush? Visibly shaken. No one knows what was in them, but the reactions turned a quiet ceremony into a viral mystery moment.
After careful deliberation, I have decided that the United States...
While Obama was giving a serious interview, a strange shadow appeared behind him, lurking in the window the entire time.
Instead, our action would be designed to be limited in duration and scope.
Viewers online were quick to spot it, sparking all kinds of creepy theories. Was it a camera trick or something not meant to be seen?
Instead, our action would be designed to be limited in duration and scope.
Boris Johnson was trying to look serious during a police memorial, but Mother Nature had other plans. His umbrella flipped inside out in the wind, and the whole scene turned into a comedy sketch. Even serious speeches can't escape umbrella drama sometimes.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States at Real Donald Trump.
While filming mean tweets, Obama read one that called him the worst president in U.S. history. For a second, he looked like it caught him off guard. Then, he took it like a champ, proof that even the president isn't safe from Twitter burns.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States at Real Donald Trump.
Brug for vaccinerne, og hvor valget.
At a Danish COVID briefing, the head of the medicines agency fainted mid-sentence while talking about suspending AstraZeneca. The clip went viral instantly, no one saw it coming, and it turned a standard update into a truly shocking live TV moment. At George H.W. Bush's funeral, George W. Bush was caught slipping a piece of candy to Michelle Obama. In the middle of all that solemnity, a sweet little friendship moment stole the spotlight. Even at a funeral, a bit of kindness finds a way. At a WWI Remembrance event, Trump tried to exchange a respectful glance with Morocco's king, but the guy looked completely checked out, possibly in the middle of a nap. Trump's confused stare said it all. It was diplomacy meets dreamland, and the internet had a field day. Now let's talk about the most embarrassing moment ever as our subscribers' pick of the day. In Vietnam, Macron caught a surprise smack from his wife. Brigitte lightly tapped his face mid-banter right in front of the cameras. A little couple roast caught in full HD.